All right, let's get right into it. Welcome back, focused learners, to another highly targeted explainer. If you're currently gearing up for competitive exams, or hey, if you just really thrive on getting structured, efficient updates about exactly how our nation is progressing, you are absolutely in the right place today. We're going to break down the most vital current affairs updates for July 30th, 2026. Basically, we're going to take a handful of really critical national developments and transform them into a clear, dynamic framework that's actually going to stick in your memory. We've got 4 crucial updates to get through today, spanning very different but equally important sectors of our society. So grab those notebooks, lock in on the screen, and let's decode this together. Here's our quick roadmap for today's 4 pillars of progress. We're covering governance, health, heritage, and finally defense. Let's just jump straight into pillar number 1.
Section 1. Governance, looking specifically at the brand new Dan Veer initiative.
To kick things off, let's test your recall with the exact kind of question you're probably going to face in an exam. The Dan Veer initiative has been making headlines recently, but do you know which ministry actually launched it? Was it Rural Development, Electronics and IT, Panchayati Raj, or Home Affairs? Think about where digital empowerment is needed the absolute most at the grassroots level. Well, the correct answer is the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. You'll definitely want to cement this key association in your brain. You know, it's super easy to just assume an IT ministry is behind anything with a digital platform. But actually, scratch that. This is a highly targeted effort by the Ministry of Panchayati Raj focused specifically on local, village-level administration.
What's really fascinating here is what Dan Veer actually is in practice. Think of it like a digital bridge. It's a completely transparent, end-to-end, digital and verifiable platform built entirely for citizen and organizational contributions. The whole point is to create a safe, fully accountable mechanism so people can give back directly to their local communities.
And here's why this is a real game changer on a practical level. The core goals of Dan Veer are designed for rapid impact. First, it directly strengthens the digital infrastructure of gram panchayats all across the country. Second, it lets people directly support the tech and infrastructure needs of these local bodies. But that third point, that's the most interesting one. It institutionalizes the spirit of volunteerism. It's building a long-term, citizen-powered ecosystem. So it isn't just some one-off donation portal, it's a structured, ongoing mechanism for real civic engagement.
Moving right along to Section 2, Health, where we are focusing on targeting cervical cancer.
All right, here is your crucial medical question for the day. SHD2 is a term that's been popping up a lot in pharmaceutical news lately, but what is it primarily being developed to treat? Are we talking about dengue, tuberculosis, Japanese encephalitis, or cervical cancer caused by HPV? If you guessed cervical cancer caused by HPV, you're spot on. SHA2 is a small molecule oral therapy, and what makes it such a huge deal is that it's designed to stop an HPV infection from ever progressing into actual cervical cancer. It treats HPV-induced cervical dysplasia, which is basically precancerous lesions, stopping the disease dead in its tracks before it can escalate. Plus, right now, it's being evaluated as an easy-to-take oral capsule, which is fantastic for accessibility.
And this whole project brilliantly illustrates the massive power of global scientific cooperation. This capsule wasn't just cooked up in isolation. It's actually the result of a powerful cross-border collaboration between India's ICMR, specifically their National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research, and the University of Oklahoma's Stevenson Cancer Center over in the USA. It's just a prime example of international health heavyweights joining forces to tackle a global crisis.
So how does this actually work at a microscopic level? Well, SHA2 zeroes in on 3 very specific proteins: mortalin, HSC70, and GRP78. Now, why do you need to memorize these 3 names? Because these are the exact proteins that help the HPV cancer-causing proteins survive inside the human body. By targeting and disrupting these specific guys, the therapy is literally cutting off the lifeline of the cancer-causing elements. It's highly targeted, digestible science that honestly has the potential to save countless lives.
Let's shift gears to Section 3, Heritage, specifically looking at how we honor our freedom fighters.
Okay, another governance question for you. Because knowing exactly which ministry runs which scheme is absolutely vital for your exams. The Swatantranta Sainik Samman Yojana is administered by which ministry? Is it Defense, Home Affairs, Social Justice and Empowerment, or Culture? If you went with the Ministry of Home Affairs, you hit the nail on the head.
The MHA administers this as a central sector scheme. But I want you to notice the really interesting central-to-state teamwork happening here. While the MHA administers it centrally, the pension is only granted after all the evidentiary requirements are fulfilled through the concerned state governments. So you've got this very crucial central state administrative link keeping the whole thing running.
I want to use this really stark number to visually anchor what we're talking about right now. 12,898. According to recent reports, that's the total number of beneficiaries who are currently receiving the Salmon pension under this historic scheme. It's a pretty powerful reminder of the tangible, ongoing commitments our country manages day in and day out. Now let's break that total down so you can see exactly who makes up this registry today. Out of those roughly 13,000 individuals, 1,553 are actual freedom fighters. The remaining 11,345 are eligible dependents. This data point isn't just a number, it's literally a snapshot of our living heritage, and it shows the continuous bureaucratic effort it takes to honor the legacy of the freedom struggle. Finally, let's bring it home with Section 4, Defense, and the launching of the Machilipatnam.
All right, here is your final challenge for today's explainer. The naval vessel Machilipatnam, which carries the designation BY-529, is a brand new anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft. Which shipyard actually built and launched this thing? Was it Mazagon Dock, Garden Reach, Cochin Shipyard Limited, or Hindustan Shipyard Limited?
The correct answer is Cochin Shipyard Limited, or CSL for short. It was officially launched on July 29, 2026, and what's really cool is that this isn't just a one-off build. This is actually the 7th out of 8 of these anti-submarine crafts that CSL is contracted to build for the Indian Navy. So we're looking at a massive, sustained, systematic upgrade of our entire naval fleet. Now let's connect this modern defense tech back to our maritime roots. Why call it the Machilipatnam? Well, it's named after the historic port city located in the Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. That city is famous for its incredibly rich maritime history, which makes it a pretty perfect namesake for a modern vessel designed to protect Indian waters today. So what is this ship actually built to do out on the water? Let's rapid-fire its tactical capabilities. It is heavily equipped for underwater surveillance, direct anti-submarine warfare, low-intensity maritime operations, and mine warfare. Ultimately, getting the Machilipatnam out there significantly strengthens our coastal defense and crucially enhances India's maritime domain awareness, meaning our comprehensive, real-time understanding of everything happening along our coasts.
Wow, okay, we have covered a ton of ground today, structured across 4 totally distinct pillars. We looked at digital governance at the grassroots level with Dan Veer, massive medical collaborations with Shata 2, preserving our heritage with the Salmon Yojana, and bolstering our maritime defense with the Machilipatnam. But before we log off and get back to your notes, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to help synthesize the whole shebang. Ask yourself this. Of these 4 developments, empowering local villages digitally, preventing cervical cancer, honoring our history, or securing our coastlines, which do you think is going to have the longest-lasting impact on the overall trajectory of our country? Think about how they all interlock. Until next time, stay focused, stay curious, and definitely keep learning.